good evening, good evening, everyone. Forgive me, I think I'm a little crooked, but we're going to deal with it because today is just that day. Let's angle some things around. Forgive me, my puppy thought it was a good idea to bang into my camera right as I was turning on the start of our meeting. Hello, how are you tonight? How is everyone? Hello, Marty. Good evening. I certainly hope you're having a great week. I know I am. And what do I want to start with? Before we get into the book, let me share with you this. A couple of weeks ago, I bought my Circle Cup. Had to buy the drink things that go inside for flavoring. And I am thoroughly pleased and impressed because I fill it up a total of 3 times with the same flavor thing, but what I love about it is I absolutely am enjoying not too much of an intensity in the flavor, but it's so good, and I'm drinking my water. Hello, Pebbly Poo. How are you? How are you? Yes, you are spreading joy, love, and happiness. Thank you for that. Thank you so much. Now, of course, we've already covered the first 3 chapters of our book, Rhinoceros Success. I'm going to pull this down. And we are moving into chapter 4. I want to cover as much of this as I can. I recognize, hey, Beverly, welcome in. Good evening. Like I said, I want to cover as much of this as I can tonight. Fingers crossed we'll get through all of it. But if we don't, we will conclude the book next week. So let's get started with chapter 4. Chapter 4's title is Be an Audacious Rhino. I love that statement. You are audacious. Your audacity makes you the charging rhino that you are. This is what separates you from cows and sheep. You are daring. The fact that this book doesn't suggest you be, but instead tells you what you are. I mean, let's be realistic. Many of you are new rhinos, so you're just discovering that the hairstyle you're wearing is really a horn, and that's an exciting experience to discover. But it helps you lean into the personality that he's showing you can be. I'm sorry, guys. Again, things that you do before the camera starts. I was eating a sandwich because, as we all know, Michelle forgets to eat till the last possible second. As such, I didn't finish the sandwich. I gave the rest to the dog, and he is now licking the stand that my iPad sits on. There's that. Anyway, he moves on to tell you to go for it. Go for it is your motto. You shout it at the top of your rhino lungs every morning. It basically is that permission slip you need to do the things that you don't believe you can do, but you want to try. Whether it is, I'm going to try a new sweet fur baby. I don't know about that part, but he's my fur baby and I'll keep him. Okay, he's giving me pitiful look, guys. I'm sorry. Anyway, this is the permission slip you need to do the things you might be afraid to do. Whether that is learn a new technique in crochet or other yarn activities. Maybe it's step out on a new branch and learn how to knit or Tunisian crochet or whatever it may be. This is your permission slip to do all of those things. So go for it. Don't be afraid. Better to have learned a lesson that maybe this isn't your pathway and have tried it than to think, I wanna, but I'm scared. That's what cows do. That's what sheeps do. We are rhinos. We are not afraid. Audacity is essential. I have found, especially recently, that a lot of people trust and have faith in me, not because they're sure that I know what I'm doing, but I give you the impression that I do. I tell you when I don't, but I absolutely do everything I do kind of with a sense of authority. And I do that not because I intend to be the leader. I just know no other way. That is the experience of having been a rhino for 30 something years. Audacity is essential. Don't give yourself any excuses. I can't say that any better than that. If you don't give yourself, well, I didn't achieve the top score in basketball because, I couldn't get to practice because I needed to study. Skip that. You didn't become the best because you didn't try hard enough. Take out the possibility of failure. Only achieve success because that's all you're going to get. Failure is a learning opportunity. So learn from it and make that your success. I learned that I don't know how to ride a bike because I don't like falling. Simple enough. I'm never going to ride a bike, and I'm totally okay with that because, no, thank you. Rhino Life 101. Use your time wisely. This is a part. Well, hello, Dutchmans. Welcome in. And hi, Denise. Welcome in, guys. Thank you. And hello to any lurkers that we have in the background who I haven't spoken to. Forgive me. I'm sorry. Rhinos are like that sometimes. Nonetheless, using your time wisely. I am notorious for having a lot of different activities that I need to accomplish pretty quickly. The key to doing them, of course, for me is time management, setting up a schedule, planning the activities, and how much time I'm going to dedicate to them. If you had the opportunity to look at my playlist for a while, one of the playlists you'll notice is Level Up. Level Up is a series of videos that I've done that kind of outlines and details how I construct my time so that I'm able to achieve the goals that I set for myself. Basically, using my time wisely. Be a kid again. This is permission to have fun. I tell you, every time I do a video, every time I go live, I'm laughing because I just saw Marty's statement. Oh, use time wisely. Hide in the corner. No, we don't hide in the corner, right? There are no corners big enough to hold a rhino. Come out of that corner, brush off that procrastination experience. That's the sheep next door have gotten dirt on you. Dust it off, keep moving. Dutchman says, I have no goals. I just do. Okay, I respect that. I'm a goal girl. It just is who I am, and it works for me. But that goes again with planning. I'm a planner. But again, to the point of being a child, some of the things that we knew as kids were were the fact that we knew how to have fun. If something was fun and we enjoyed it, we leaned into it. It's also the area that we were always given permission to learn from. Have fun. We learn while we play. In fact, one of the multi-level marketing companies that is one of the top 10 multi-level marketing companies is Discovery Toys. Their motto is learn through play. It can't be said any better than learn through play. You're going to learn. Good evening, Kimmy Joe. Welcome in. But as you learn, so you grow. So be a kid again. Learn to have fun. Get excited. I think you guys those of you who've been around for more than a few minutes, know that I am a naturally exuberant and enthusiastic person. I hope, is what drew you in to get to know me a little bit better. But it's something that even in the midst of things that I've shared with you that haven't been the most exciting and most pleasant, you've seen me at some of my lower moments this year, but simultaneously, I always try to give you the best of me. As such, I think and I hope that my enthusiasm is the thing that brings you back. I'm enthusiastic about everything I do. Even if what I'm doing is not being nice, I'm enthusiastic about it because I want to get it done and get it over with. It is what it is. Chapter 5, develop rhinoceros Persistence. A Tale of Persistence. And this is the author, not me. Please understand this part. When I started high school, I decided I wanted to work after school for a veterinarian. I applied for a job at the local animal hospital as an animal technician. A technician's main duty is to help the veterinarian control animals being treated and to keep the doctor from being bitten. The job was hard to get. I kept checking in for about 6 months until they finally had an opening. I got the job. Wow. Most of my friends were dishwashers or box boys or didn't even have a job. And I was working as an animal technician. I made a whopping $1.65 an hour. Almost unbelievable. I'm going to put a pin in that. My first job. And I'm hiding my face because when I say this, people think I'm insane or that I'm joking. But I'm very, very serious. My first job paid $3.35 an hour. I worked at the Arch. Literally, I was a tram operator. For those of you who've ever been to the St. Louis Gateway Arch, you've gotten in that little industrial sized clothes dryer that had the little 5 seats in it that took you to the top of the arch. I operated that tram. I did the bottom. I worked at the top. There were times that I did a double shift, and I literally would put my feet up against the side of the wall and lean against the back of it and take a nap. Marty said her first job was $3.25 an hour. But we've come a long way since then, thank heavens. However, I didn't have the experience of the McDonald's job. In fact, I had a job at McDonald's for 1 day. Got the job, got promoted twice, all in my 5-hour shift, was handed the assistant manager book because of my enthusiasm, because of my personability, and decided this is not for me. Handed them their t-shirt back, handed them their book back, and said, I won't be back tomorrow. Found another job. It was not good. Denise said, first job was $1.95 an hour making wallets. Ooh, now that sounds hard for a couple of reasons. Dairy Queen. Ooh, I'm missing a lot, but I got to get back in the book. Sorry, guys. Squirreling. Anyway, as he details what it was like for him to get that job, the number one thing we first learned is that he stuck to it. He knew what he wanted and he went for it. It didn't happen overnight. It's not an easy job to get, clearly, because it took him 6 months to get it, but he got it. He said, I took the first puppy out of the box, holding his rear end toward the doctor. I tried to keep him from squirming at the doctor as he brought the scissors up to his tail. Snip. The puppy shrieked and continued whining as his tail dropped to the tape. Oh, Lord. I'm sorry. I forgot about that part. Chat later. Okay. God bless you. Okay. Anyway, he said he immediately felt lightheaded, but tried not to show it. The doctor was sewing up the tail. Ooh. Can we skip? We're skipping. I have decided we are skipping. Never let go. And that's something that no matter what industry you're in or what you're trying to go for, there are going to be detractors, people who are going to tell you that's not something you should be pursuing. I don't really think you should spend your time making those crochet things. Nobody wants that. Does it serve you? Does it make you happy? If the answer is yes, continue. Because you are a rhino. If they get in your way, stab them with your horn and keep it pushing. Charge. Never let go. Whether that's a dream, whether it's a job that makes you happy, whether it is an opportunity that if you got out of the way, somebody else would take in a heartbeat, stick to it. Pursue your dreams, your goals, your hobbies. Do them with passion and do them as only a rhino can. When you are trying in a new situation, hold on. You're going to learn. There are going to be bumps. Thank you for the skip. Yes, nobody wanted to talk about a dog losing his tail. My dog walked away. He was like, no, this is not a conversation For me, I am not doing it. Chapter 6, how to be a rhino in all aspects of your life. Do you know how to make a rhinoceros float? Root beer, 1 scoop of vanilla ice cream, and 1 scoop of rhinoceros. It's quite a nice recipe, by the way. Remember, this is extremely funny, side-splitting, hilarious joke because it will remind you to put the rhino in everything you do. That's really a very true and very real statement. Whether you are having a conversation with someone that you're trying to convince, you want to sell me that car. You want to sell me that car at this price. Draw the line and then hush. Because sheep will keep talking. Cows will keep mooing. Rhinos will shut up and wait for you to stop and decide, this is where I am. Meet me here or move out of my way and I will get what I want elsewhere. Rhino life. It is the opportunity aspect of everything you do. It's the passion. It's the fire in you, the rhino, to get what you want. And proof that that's a statement all on its own, that's the end of the chapter. Literally. Chapter 7, financial. Now, guys, I'm always a little uncomfortable having financial conversations with groups where I can't see the faces of others because I don't know what your financial picture looks like. I know what mine looks like, and it's not what people believe it is based on the way I live. I'm passionate. Where did I lose that statement? Here we go. Let me take that off the screen. Sorry, guys. Anyway, I am passionate. I accomplish a lot, but I do it on a shoestring budget. Okay. I'm sorry, I missed something. And if someone's not feeling well, oh, I'm sorry, Kimmy Joe. Go back to bed, darling. I hope you feel better soon. The question for financial, how are you doing financially? Do you have enough money? Never let anyone tell you money is not all that important. Yes, it is. We live in a capitalistic society, most of us, those of us in the U.S. And as such, money rules the roost. You don't live anywhere for free. Sorry, but you don't. And as the domestic person that I am, I know that all too well. Money has a bad reputation because most animals don't have enough. To justify their lack, you will hear them say, money is the root of all evil. Money can't buy happiness. Both of these ideas are completely wrong. They are used to only rationalizing failure rather than the acquisition of more money. Money is not the root of all evil. The love of money is, and that's true too. And I'm going to hold a pin on that statement to say that we have a unrealistic expectation that others determine what our value is. We need to reverse that aspect. Hello, Angela, welcome in, my darling. With that said, we determine what our value is. Now, McDonald's, just because I spoke of it earlier, may say this job pays $12 an hour. And you'll say, oh, I need a job. And if I don't have a job, I can't pay my bills. So I'll take this job. But are you taking the job as a bridge until you can get to the job you want? Or is this the best you think you can do? Either way, you've sold yourself short, period. I distinctly remember an opportunity presented itself for a resetter. This is a person who sets appointments that have been canceled by this particular company that I wanted to work for. And the position paid at the time, I think it was $12 an hour, which at that time wasn't horrible money. The average, I think the minimum wage in our area was $7.12 an hour or something like that. So $12 was a reasonable rate. I walked in, met with the person who was hiring, and they said, well, you've got a lot of skills that we think would be quite the asset to have for the company. What salary range are you looking for? So I said, well, I don't think I could take this position for anything less than $14.50 an hour. He goes, the highest we pay for this position is 12. Thank you for your time. I really appreciate this opportunity. It's been quite the pleasure. If there is ever any flexibility in your salary for this position, I'd love to talk again, but I don't want to waste your time because clearly I'm not the person that you're looking for. Thank you. I got up. I went to walk out. He was like, wait, can you hang on for a minute? I've got 5 minutes, but I really do need to make other arrangements. If this isn't going to be the career opportunity for me, then I need to look at other opportunities for myself. He said, okay, walked out. Less than 5 minutes later, he came back. He said, we can't pay you more than $14.50 an hour. And the earliest we could look at a salary review for this position is 1 year. If you can commit to this, you can have the job. I said, yes. I would have taken the job for 13, but he didn't know that. The key is I knew how to present it in a way that I have what you want, and I'm the best you're going to get. You either want it or you don't. I do it every day. I am a child care provider. I interview families. I have people who meet me either on the phone or on the internet or however we communicate. And they say to me, well, we're not looking to pay more than $250 per week for childcare. That's great. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be the childcare provider for you. My salary for this position per week is more than that. Oh. Or I'll say, I only accept full-time clients. And though, well, we were really looking for part-time. And I've got some great people I'd love to introduce you to, but I'm simply not going to be the childcare provider that you're going to get. These are my rules. This is my business. I am the asset that you want. You either want the best or you want something less than. And if less than is good enough for you, then I'm not it. I know my line. I've been a rhino for decades. Make happy money. I am struggling with this one recently. Money can buy happiness. I make money because I like to pay the bills. All this light around me, these are lights. I pay for them. And that makes me happy. Sleeping in a king-size bed makes me happy. I'm not sleeping on a rock. I'm not sleeping in mud. And though it's cold outside, I'm pretty warm. All of that makes me happy. That's happy money. Making money as a hobby. Well, pretty much every one of my hobbies makes me money in some way or other. Even YouTube. YouTube hasn't been income generating until last week, but now even that is making me money. Not a lot, but I'm excited about the opportunity to make more. That's just an honest conversation that you and I are having. Oh, wait a minute. I got it. Okay. I'm sorry. I just got a notice. I forgot to turn on my silence for certain things. Anyway, try tithing. This goes into religion. You already know we are going to skip this part of the conversation because we don't have religious conversations on this channel. Always pay yourself first. This was a lesson I'm glad I learned as a younger person. You know how much your take-home check is going to be. Of course, the government is going to take their part off the top. They pay themselves first. You need to pay yourself first. You need to predetermine X amount of dollars goes towards whatever, whether it's a passion project, yarn, maybe it's savings. I don't know. Maybe you want to do an annual trip to Bora Bora. If you can make that happen, make it happen. But how does it happen? You give every dollar you make an assignment and you pay yourself first. Yes, the gas bill has to be paid. Yes, your phone bill and your internet and all the other things have to be paid. I'm not telling you not to pay your bills. I am telling you to construct your budget in such a way that you can afford all the have-tos and all the want-tos. And you don't get to enjoy the have-tos if you're not taking care of the want tos, at least one of them. So, work, chapter 8. Work is a funny thing because I don't know that I necessarily work. I have a job. I have several jobs, but I don't really work. I have fun. I play with kids during the week. Closely related to your financial picture is your work environment. If you are struggling financially, you are probably suffering at work. No one should be working. Work means drudgery and monotony. Work is dull, irksome, distasteful, and uninspiring. Who wants that? Certainly not you, a rhino. That sounds like the perfect occupation for a cow, but not for you. And that's 100% true. We all have to have a way to make money. That part, we get it. Yarn can be expensive, especially good yarn. Heck, even cheap yarn can be expensive these days. However, like I said, I don't necessarily see my job as work. It's an opportunity to see things that I wouldn't otherwise get to see. I take care of children. I get to see those first steps. I'm usually there when they do those things because I'm the person they see during the day. A lot of kids tend to walk in the early part of the day the first time, or maybe later in the day, but I usually get to see it. Very rarely does it happen at home. Now, do I always tell the parent that it happened here? Because they wanted to be with them. More times than not, it's with me. And I'm okay with that because I get to see it. Plan your escape. If you guys are currently working, this is the time to start planning the transition to an income generating opportunity that is not work. I am my own boss. And sometimes I'm quite the boss. Other times I'm pretty cool. But either way, I negotiate with me on what I'm going to take from myself. Don't be like the living dead. The living dead are your coworkers, by the way. These are the people who, it's Monday. I can't wait till Friday. These are the people who you guarantee that the slightest bit of snow, they are checking out. So, rhinos make successful sales animals. That's kind of true. But I'm going to leave that for another aspect. This is not solely focused on sales. This is focused on success. Family. Your family can either make you or break you. How you do in your family affects your financial status, your work environment, and your family life. Forgive me. In fact, all 6 major areas of your life affect the others in your life to some extent. And that's very true. Oh, I know it. Yes. For this reason, it's so important to keep them in balance. And for me, that looks like having conversations with my family when I'm going to do something different or unique. Hello, Louise. Welcome in, my darling. If I am going to do something different, like when I started my YouTube channel, we had conversations, not just, I'm going to start a YouTube channel. I could have done that, but I needed my family to be on board. I needed to hear what their concerns were regarding safety. What are their concerns regarding the time commitments that it was going to take to make this success for me? What was it going to cost them? Because this has had a cost to them. They know, don't walk in mom's room just haphazardly anymore, because mom might be live and you don't want your voice or your image seen on her channel or heard. So they don't do that anymore, especially my son. My daughter, she's already blended that. She's come in and you guys have seen her. And that's been quite a joy for me, but that was at her decision, not mine. With that said, that also means there are times that they may want to go to dinner. Mom can't go. Mom can't go because mom's supposed to do whatever. So we work together as a family for all of us to be able to pursue our passions and achieve our dreams. You guys, if you implement those factors of considering what your needs, your passions, and your desires are with your family's needs, you'll find that they're quite the rhino too. The single rhinoceros. I am a single rhinoceros, but I don't live alone. If you are unattached, full-grown rhinoceros and want to stay that way, be alert. You are in demand. You are a 14 karat gold walking down the street. All the animals in the forest have their eye on you. When someone finally nabs you, be sure it's another rhinoceros. You can both charge off together. That to me is funny, but a very true statement in the sense that if you're not interested in getting to another relationship, then you're golden. However, if you're pursuing a relationship with someone else, be careful. Make sure your goals, your spirit, your minds are aligned. Because if you are a worker, a giver, a doer, then you want people who are like you. You do not want someone who does not agree with you. Simple. Physical. I'm going to jump through physical real quick because, I have my own goals with that. Physical is simply take care of yourself. I tell you guys in all my videos and in most of my conversations, if you eat, drink your water, and take your meds, if meds are appropriate, then you're going to be a better person physically. It's not going to cure everything. Most medicine doesn't, but it can mitigate some of the problems that you may be facing. Use your medicine as the tools that it's designed to be. I will skip beyond that. Social. That's really simple. No man is an island. No rhino can run the entire jungle by themselves. Simple enough. We need to be sociable. I am sociable on this internet, which is why I do lives. But I'm not the best at being in person. I admit that. A lot of it is anxiety. I know that it exists. I do the things that I can to overcome it in the ways that I can. I hope that you guys take that same consideration. Chapter 12 is spiritual. We're going to skip over it. Rhino games. As you drive in your automobile, take notice of most motorists. How do they look? Are they smiling? Do they look excited? You will quickly discover that the roads and highways being traveled by in our nation are being driven around on by zombies. That's kind of true. And what this is, in the long and short of it, is your mindset. What is your mindset the moment that you walk out the door? You are the walking billboard for yourself, your personality. You are the representation of your family. But most of all, you tell someone whether to trust you or not trust you, whether to give you the job or not give you the job. Think about those of you who do those craft fairs and events where you're presenting not just the quality product of what you've made, you've presented yourself. If you're doing those types of events and you're doing them with the mindset of, I didn't get any sales last time and I'm probably not going to get any sales this time. Well, guess what? I can pretty much guarantee you won't. However, if you go into the event with the mindset that I am going to make the most money I have ever made, I am going to make the best connections that I've ever had, you're going to do all of those things and nothing is going to stop you. The difference between success and failure is mindset, period. Tipping for fun. Now, this is something I have a lot of fun with. We go a lot of places where people allow tipping. Louise, I don't know how things are structured there, Tipping in America is a very common practice. In fact, it's almost expected. And unfortunately, in some career aspects, it's the only way these people make a livable wage. So I tip for fun. I have in my mind, this is the number I want to tip. That number can go up or down, depending on the service, depending on the personability of the person who's providing my service. It makes all the difference in the world for me. And I'm sure it does for all of you. My thing is over tipping. I absolutely know if my bill is $30 and this person has done everything to be amazing, then I'm going to match dollar for dollar that they're going to get at least a $30 tip, if not more. I can't always do that, but when I can, I do. And I highly encourage you to do so as well. This does two things for me. The person that I did that for is going to remember me. The next time I come, maybe I can't afford to do a dollar for dollar match on tip. Maybe I can only do 10% of whatever that bill might be. They're still going to go out of their way to give me amazing service because I stick out in their mind. And if I can do what I did before, again, of course I will. It's your calling card. And this tells you to carry a $100 bill. I don't encourage that because if you put a $100 bill in my wallet, the yarn store is going to know and I'm going to spend it. Just saying. It also talks about having new experiences and find other rhinos. Of course, I've told you before, it's critically important that you hang out with people who have a similar mindset as you. And do things that are a little out of your comfort zone. That's important. Things you've never done before, things you've never tried, but you want to. I don't encourage you to do things you don't want to do, but absolutely do the things you do. Be prepared for rhinoceros-sized problems. Rhinoceros are always prepared for rhino-sized problems. It doesn't matter how much money you have. You will always have problems. It doesn't matter if you're a rhino, a monkey, an elephant, or even a cow. Problems will come. The way you handle them, the way you face them is the difference to whether or not you get beyond them or you get stuck in them. So I am moving forward just a little bit because it looks like we should be able to finish our book. Problems are a good sign. The reality of it is you're going to have problems. Recognizing the problems and making a successful way through them, that's a rhinoceros. Charge at your problems. Don't let a problem be there. You know that your balloon payment for your mortgage is due and you do nothing towards saving to prepare for it. Well, that's a cheap ways out and it won't work. You're going to have to pay that bill. If you instead say, okay, I'm going to do 2 mortgage payments a month for the next 6 months, you've already eaten away at some of that balloon payment. Make preparations for the way to get over your problems. Be prepared for sorrow. The reality of it is nobody gets out of life alive. We're going to lose people in our lives. We're going to lose things in our lives. And sometimes those things hurt. Be prepared for those things in the ways that work best for you. I'm not going to delve into religion with that. I am merely going to tell you reality is going to happen. The way you handle it, that's for you to deal with. And if you do so with the mindset of, I was designed to survive this, you will. Become a rhinoceros today. This is the last chapter. If you have not decided to be a rhinoceros by now, this is my last chance to plead with you. Understand, this is not for my benefit that you become a rhino. You already bought the book. Well, some of you. And those of you who didn't, don't worry about it. We are almost done. Either way, you got the story. I have no medication or ointment to sell you after you become a rhinoceros. Although it's a good idea. I might look into it in the future. And just so you know, he had 2 other books after that. And I bought them both. All I ask is that if you decide to become a rhino, Commit yourself to doing it and going all out. He said, leave indecision behind, kick the worry habit. I don't say worry. I absolutely do say think about the decisions that you're making and plan for your success. Don't plan for your failure, because that'll never work, because you're guaranteed to fail if you're planning for it. But absolutely plan for your success. Don't be cool. Don't be, it just is what it is. And that is what the way it goes. No, be humble, be gracious, be kind, but be a rhino. And a rhino says yes. The reason that I'm able to achieve the things that I achieve is because I'm a rhino. It's just that simple. I'm an Aries and a rhino, so I get the double effect. So, and his final statement to you all and to me is to keep charging. This is our book, guys, and we are done. I am going to pop in for a second and read the last comment, because I don't know how tipping works here either in the UK. We don't eat out often. In fact, the last time my husband and I had a meal out was over 25 years ago. Okay, I can respect that. Guys, I have to ask you, what are your thoughts about what we've discussed tonight and last week as it relates to this book? I'd love to hear what your points are. What did you take from this? What are your thoughts about what we've shared? And what are the things you think you can lean into related to this book versus things you're like, I'm going to leave that on the table? Because not everything is for everyone. Forgive me, I'm going to have a sip while you guys add your points. That is so good. And it is super quiet in the room. This is the thing that live always gives me anxiety about. I don't get that instant conversation response, and I kind of miss it. But, I'm sorry. I miss, holy smokes, Louise, don't eat. I don't even cook well enough for that. I would be living on peanut butter and honey sandwiches. That sounds like a poo moment. Yes, not a bad thing. Not a bad thing at all. And as someone who loves to cook, I can see it. I wouldn't want to do it, but I can see it. So where are we with our thoughts? And do you guys have ideas about books you'd like to read from here? Because like I said, we're done with this book. And I'm not going to go into the other two books. I've read them. I think they're great books. But I think he spent a lot of time restating the very same things he said in this book. And I don't yet have an idea of the book we're going to do next. Like I said, I'm getting notifications of things that are going on. And I'm getting comments on comments I've left elsewhere. So, where are we and what are we doing? I see we have 4 people still left. Let me see. So, let me ask this question. Who feels like this book in some way benefited them? Whether you read the book or you just listened to my take on the book, who felt like this book was of benefit to them? I'm sorry. I have to put my book away. Oh, Marty, can I ask you, without putting you too much on the spot, what did you get out of this? What do you think your takeaway is? And what ideas are you going to be trying to implement going forward? You know what? This is what got me hooked on this book, and literally passed this book on to other family members and friends that I cared about, that I wanted to see be successful. I used it as a homeschooling tool for my daughter. I used it as a motivational tool for my son. So yeah. And Marty said, honestly, in a nutshell, the whole premise of the book is to stop overthinking and just go, yes, go for what makes your heart sing. Absolutely. Absolutely. And guys, we are 45 minutes into the hour. And I'm going to do something we don't often get to do. I'm going to cut out early for two reasons. One, we don't have much more to talk about. And two, I need to do some quick research because we have to pick our next book. And as no one has added to the chat a book that they would like us to go over, but I do want to do some behind the scenes recon and find a book. Please be watching the community tab. I will be posting that information. And of course, as you watch my videos, you will see me discussing it in the next videos upcoming. And Marty said, I'm still looking. Okay, I love the input and engagement. By all means, of course, this live will go into video format, and it will have a comment section. As you think of things you want to discuss in our book club series, by all means, add that information to the comment section, and I will be reading it. I hope you guys had a fun evening. If you haven't already done so, hit the like button. That means everything to me. Also, don't forget to eat, to drink your water. Of course, if meds are appropriate, please take them. And thank you, Marty. Have some fun tonight, guys. I love you. Take care. Bye-bye, everyone.